What it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? With yours truly, Petra Fucker, back for another one. It's been a while, but that's because I got a job and I had some food poisoning, so we back. Just know we back. It's going to be kind of a quicker one, I think. I don't really know. I had some other shit laid out, but I got some other stuff planned, so definitely keep a fucking eye out for that. It's definitely going to come. Anyways, quick little thing on music, or an artist in particular. 6ix9ine is in court now, and yeah, he's snitching. Yep, he is. He definitely is snitching. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, because if you actually followed it, if you actually followed the case, you would know full well they're all snitching. They're all taking plea deals. They're all doing whatever they can to save their own ass. Because they're not chucking just 10, 15 years at someone. They're chucking Texas-sized numbers at them. Life sentences. Fucking, it's essentially a wrap. And not only that, the fact that it's only 6ix9ine is the one that people are talking about is snitching. When his manager Shotty is snitching. The other guys involved are snitching. I mean, there's a video now you can clearly see he wasn't too happy when he was taken. You know what I'm saying? All that being said, my point is, if the people you're running with are taking your money and you're essentially blessed in because you can make them money, nobody's loyal to anybody. There was never any loyalty to begin with. Now, that's probably a bigger slap on the actual organization themselves versus the people, because all those people in that group were snakes. It goes down to foot soldiers that had wiretaps put on their phones, that got Shotty and 6ix9ine caught up, that got Mel Murder caught up. They're all getting caught up because of shit that lower foot soldiers did that got in trouble, and that's what happened. Now they're snitching to save their own ass. It's a time fucking told story. Happens all the time. I'm not saying everyone is a snitch. Some really will go do that time. They are loyal to their homies. I get it. I respect that. But I also know the cause of a RICO case. And when they hit you with a RICO case, they got you already bilked on 3 felonies. The feds don't come after you unless they can give you time. Or unless you're John fucking Gotti and can get off over and over and over again until they eventually catch you. Al Capone type shit, Nicky Barnes, Frank Lucas. Those motherfuckers, those were the G's that got off over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? El Chapo. Shit, I mean. But they tried to fuck his woman, or they fucked his woman, they stole millions of dollars from him, they tried to kill him, they kidnapped him, jacked his chains and shit. I mean, you'll quit being friends with someone over $20. You'll quit being friends with someone that hollers at your woman. Or your partner, whatever the fuck you want to call him. But when he does it, when he turns his back on them, it's bad? If someone can clarify that to me and maybe clear that up. Like, I understand a snitch, but when they're all snitching, are they all to blame? Like, I mean, maybe someone clear that shit up. But then again, it is what it is. They're on trial. It's definitely something interesting to watch. If you haven't tuned in or read an article, which I'd be surprised if you haven't at this point. I mean, from academics to whoever is named on that spoke on that shit. Specifically, you can watch BBN Network, Jack Frost on YouTube. He is in the courthouse. He is in the trial. He is watching it. He is giving updates at night, this, that, the other thing. Obviously, he's got to be pretty, he's got to be pretty tight-lipped about certain things, because I think if they find out that you're the one releasing it, they'll just kick you out of the courtroom altogether. Because there was a video an hour ago saying that the courtroom just went down on higher security because of the leaks and what's going on in the case and all that. So definitely something to watch, tune in about. I mean, it is what it is, but I definitely think it's something that can be discussed. I think everybody has a different opinion on it, a different view, especially if you know the story. If you know the story, I mean, if you have all the facts, like, you got to include that everyone's snitching, that there was wiretaps, that they tried to fuck his baby mama, that he was never actually loyal to the gang, that he was just the gang's bank account. I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of There's a lot of plot twists to that motherfucking story. That's a fact. I don't think Hollywood could have wrote that motherfucking story. I just don't. Bunch of people from New York did, though. Some shit's funny, man. Sad, but it's funny. Like I said, definitely if somebody can explain that shit to me and maybe make me see the light on how he's just the only piece of shit involved. I mean, no one likes a snitch. But I don't know how you can call him just a snitch. Especially when they did what they did. I mean, he went on the Breakfast Club and told you all the dirt they were doing to him. Yeah, the FBI talked to him the day before. for his safety. And then when he went on there and decided that he was going to flap his fucking gums, they just executed everything. Picked them all up and it was a wrap. But it is what it is. And, yeah. So that would be... That's really the only thing I really had that was on my mind. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about that shit, and I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna spit that on my podcast, and we'll see if someone else got something to say. You know what I'm saying? And on a little bit of that cannabis news, you know what I'm saying? We smoking on a motherfucking moon rock right now. I didn't check the name, none of that shit. I just was like, moon rock? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hoo-wee. Whew. Some murder shit. Ugh. Shit just hits differently when it's got that wax on it, you know what I'm saying? Woof. And that bitch in a steamroller. Wow. We rolling, you know what I'm saying? Now we're going to move on to that, you know, what I said, just political shit, you know, lots going on. I had a hell of a podcast built up, but got sick and shit, and it just did not work out in my favor, so... Had to scrap some of that. I got some of that shit in this one. Some of it won't be. But either way, still going to be awesome. So we're going to move on to the political shit as always. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. Like I had said in the last one, Beto, man, they're coming for guns. They're coming. Like the left is coming for the guns. And Beto, he said Americans will comply. And the guns will be confiscated. So, the left, everybody on that Democratic debate stage said, except Warren, said they're going to come for your guns. Or something has to be removed with guns. And Warren, she wants to do a gun registry. So essentially what that means is, you're still going to give up your guns. Because then they're going to have a registry and know how many guns you have. And then they're going to be able to send the adequate amount of people to come take them shits. That's what's going to happen. Might not happen today. Shit, it might not happen this year. But they're working for it. They're working towards it. It could be just an extreme view right now because a lot of shootings happen, this, that, the other thing, but they're working on it, and they don't care how it affects anybody. Which is fucked up. But, I mean, in another grand scheme of shit, one of the Democratic major donors, or mega donors, whatever, it's just a huge donor, Ed Buck. He's out here injecting dudes with meth and going on with his, sexual fantasies. This man is getting these dudes so fucked up that he's able to do whatever he wants. And he had 2 people OD in his house in the last year and they died. And the third one that OD'd ran out of his house with needles still in his arm talking about dudes trying to rape me. And these are young black men. I think one of them was younger. I didn't really check the age range, but I know they were black men. So I know it's another fucked up thing. So it just shows that the Democratic donors are just as dirty as some of the Republican donors. You can't pick and choose your donors. But he's a mega donor, and he donated a lot to Hillary Clinton from what it actually looks like. He has a lot of pictures with her. So, I mean, a lot of banquets, this, that, the other thing. Kind of looks bad for him just in the Democratic Party, as like that's the person that you have as your donor, a guy running a drug den, drug house, where he's just injecting people freely with methamphetamines. I just like to say methamphetamines. It's a long fucking word. It's fun. I don't recommend anybody use the drug, but I mean, if you're on Adderall, pretty much on it. But yeah, it's pretty bad that he had a fucking drug den. I mean, I don't think that looks good for any party. It definitely shines a bad light on politics in general. So it definitely keeps motherfuckers that don't like politics definitely as far away as they can get. Which I understand totally. I get it. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't fight every battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that as a person, and I know there's bad people everywhere, anywhere. There could be a bad. I mean, there's some studies that say you walk past a serial killer 4 times in your life, or something like that. I think it's 4. But that shit's insane. That means you could walk past a Ted Bundy or a BTK or a fucking DC sniper 4 times in your fucking life. That's. I mean, if I like I said, don't hold me that statistic. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm pretty sure it's a high number. It's higher now. Pretty sure it's a pretty high number, just based on the fact that a robbery happens like every 30 seconds. So, I mean, it's fucking insane. Anyways, now we're going to go up to the frozen north of Canada. Their prime minister is all over the news. Man, all I've seen the last 2 days about this dude is all over the news, man. What's he over the news for? That's the question, right? What's he on the news? Because I'm assuming that maybe y'all know, maybe you don't. This motherfucker wore brown face or black face. The headline of the newspaper said it was Arabian Nights. And he was a school teacher or a professor or some shit. And one of the two things, either a teacher or a professor, one of the two. But he had brown face on, and it was for Arabian Nights. Now there's other people in the picture that are dressed up as I guess they would be Arab women, and they have on the I don't know what it's called. I'm not gonna slaughter the name. Anyways, they one of the ladies, I believe, was I would say she was of Asian descent, and the other ones, I think they were white. Generally is what I've seen. But he had the full hands painted and all that. And some of the fucking articles said that it was like an Aladdin type of a thing, But I don't even remember Aladdin being that dark. And mind you, this was in 2001 when this picture was taken. It wasn't like this was in 1987 or whatever. This was in 2001. So shit was already not okay. Now, if comedians did it, it was more or less to make a point, or something like Robert Downey Jr. did it in Tropical Thunder, and that shit was hilarious. Everybody loved that motherfucking movie. That shit was funny. Now, there's a time and a place for those things, and if you're a comedian, I think you have more of a liberty to do those types of things. Now, if you're a prime minister of a fucking country, or even a school teacher, you might want to think about how people are going to perceive that shit. Now, I'm not all for people digging back in the past and digging up your dirt and going to make you feel bad about it 18 years later. That seems a little excessive and a little bit of a bitch move, to be brutally honest. A bitch move. That's all I can think of it. That's like your significant other after 20 years getting mad about some shit that you did that pissed them off. Or offended them. Let's say offended them. Because it's offensive, right? So you can take anything that's offensive. And anybody can be offended by just about anything. But let's just say that. Now that's some bullshit, right? Now wouldn't you be sitting there like, damn, 20 years ago you're going to get mad at me about that shit now? Like, fuck. But that just means people are out there dredging shit up no matter what. So, is there any covering up your footprint, your digital footprint at some point? I doubt it. I mean, even look at Ilhan Omar. They're digging up her tweets from fucking 2013. Screenshotted. Whatever the fuck it was called back then. But it's documented, and there's a website that you can go on and see what all the dirt shit that any person's ever posted. Essentially, I think it could be politicians or high up, whatever they are, but you can see. And Ilhan Omar, that's another story for another podcast. But what he did, what Justin Trudeau did, or whatever, the Prime Minister, I can't pronounce the motherfucker's name, the Prime Minister, whatever he decided that he was going to do that night, it's kicking him in his ass now. And he's a leftist. He's a Democrat. I don't know what they were called in Canada, but that's what he would be classified here in the United States, either a progressive or pretty fucking close to it. So, it's kind of funny to watch that bite them in their ass. Again. Because wasn't